welcome, fellas, to Sidneyo on the radio. How are you guys tonight?
Yale.
I'm good.
How you doing?
Good. So why don't you each introduce yourselves to the listening audience tonight?
Viva La Burns! Yes, I'm Viva La Burns, reggae fusion artist from Brooklyn, Flatbush, via Haiti. Now we got my DJ producer.
SilkyBlack, one half of George Squared. You can call me George, SilkyBlack, whatever. Straight out of Brooklyn, I DJ, produce some tracks for Bernie and, for other artists in the city.
Okay. So where exactly are you guys from in Brooklyn?
I grew up in Flatbush. Now I moved out to, I guess, Canarsie Flatlands. But yeah, Flatbush is my home place. That's where I'm raised with a bunch of Haitians, Jamaicans, Trinis, like that. It's like, I call it like a melting pot of Caribbeans. Now, being gentrified as we all know, so a lot of coffee shops, on all that.
I'm grew up in Crown Heights, actually. And I grew up in Crown Heights, moved to East New York, but now I'm living in Bed-Stuy, right over by Marcy Projects. Not in the projects, but, close by. In that neighborhood.
You wanted to make that
make that
Everybody always says that. You live in the projects? No.
No.
I don't.
just near them.
So do you guys feel like Brooklyn has shaped your music and what your style? Also, describe the style, because fusion music, I've never heard of this.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I'm reforming a new style of music, because like I have a heavy Haitian accent at times, and I'm being from Flatbush. I was introduced with the dancehall scene, the hip hop scene, of course, being from Brooklyn, and the R&B scene. But then when I went to college, a lot of my friends, from all over the world, introduced me to like EDM, dubstep. George introduced me to Jersey Club, and I was like, what is this? This is amazing.
Yeah.
So, and what I wanted to do is make music that have the influence, but still keeping my Caribbean roots. So like no two tracks sound alike. Like the You and I Love that we just played, that's the like island feel.
Yeah, I felt it.
But a lot of the other sounds, there might be some dancehall influences, references, and then you hear my accent on the song. Like I'm not really sure where this guy's from, but he sounds Caribbean or whatnot. So that's what we're doing with our music.
Okay. And so tell me more, who are your inspirations? Who's inspired you to make music? Do you have American influences at all?
Yeah, let's see, American influences. R. Kelly's my favorite artist. I think I know people find him disgusting, which is perfectly fine. But musically, I think he's one of the greatest American artists to ever exist. Writing, singing, performing. So I used to listen to a lot of hip hop. My cousin was a big Jay-Z fan, so he got me into listening to music when I was a little kid. And my mother didn't allow me to have cable, to be a good student. So I was watching like Video Music Box or whatnot.
Huh? The Box.
The Box or whatever.
I don't even know what that is.
Right.
Oh whatnot.
That's real.
Oh what?
Before me.
Oh whatnot. I'm assuming. Are you from New York City?
I am not originally from New York City. I was about to say I'm from Brooklyn. I am from Ohio. I live in Westchester, though.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am, but like I don't know.
Because it's like that Video Music Box, like that's a real thing, and then they used to call the request line
OD.
before like this is like '99 when I was a little kid. It's just like.
Oh, okay.
Well, at that time I was only like 4 or 5, so I didn't really use it.
We're showing our age right now, Bernie. We're showing our age.
Then what really got me into music is when I joined my campus radio station. Like I was doing a sports radio show, and
that's cool.
and doing like marketing and all of that. And I was around all of these DJs, and they were introducing me to new genres of music. And I always wrote music, but I never was around musical people. So when an album came out was Major Laser's Guns Don't Kill People, Lasers Do. And so the first song that I heard from that album was Pon de Floor.
Yes,
and,
I love that song.
And Diplo was able to take Vybz Kartel, which is one of my favorite artists,
I love Vybz Kartel.
With the raw energy, the raw sexual energy, but have the EDM, the electro influences. And I was like, hey, if he could do that, that's not exactly what I want to do, but if somebody could do this, take a Caribbean person with this, electro EDM style and experimenting and sounds good, I could do this too. So yeah, it was just like that work in progress.
That's awesome.
Okay, that's dope. So now, do you guys do anything else besides music? Obviously, you do the producing side of music. Do you sing, rap at all?
I dabble. I dabble. I mostly produce. I started out DJing at City College. That's where I met Viva, and at WCCR radio station up there. And we started out DJing, and there I also got influenced by a lot of music, especially Jersey club music. It was one of my favorite things, and I looked into the history of it from Baltimore club, from Vogue house music and stuff like that. Those were the influences came from. So that's where the influences my music come from today. The stuff that I like to produce, it does have a heavy Jersey club element to it usually. But then again, I'm also Caribbean. My parents are Jamaican and Vincentian, so I often try to get a little influence from dance hall and stuff like that. But the music thing for me is a little bit different. I've always been into the music. It wasn't until I got experience from other people who I also saw doing the music to get the motivation to then do it too. But yeah.
Okay. So now, if you guys weren't making music, what would you be doing? Or take us through. Let me say this: take us a daily life, a day in the life of you.
Okay.
Run us through a day in the life of you.
Well, if I wasn't, start with the first question. If I wasn't DJing, I'd be teaching. That's a thing that I'm very interested in. Through a group that I was in college called Nesby, and I've gotten into really helping kids and shaping their minds, and helping them know their place in the world, because they often don't when they're young. So if I wasn't DJing, I'd be doing that. That's definitely a passion of mine.
Well, a passion of mine is more of like content strategy and multimedia. So a lot of people have a lot of great ideas, but they can't make it tangible. And now we live in a world, especially with our technology, is if I have an idea digitally, I can make it a digital product. I might not be able to be like Kanye, hey, I have a shoe idea, here's a shoe.
Yeah.
But if I have an idea graphic, video wise, sonically, you could do it now with your MacBook and programs and Google. You, like Childish Gambino say, information is free.
Right.
So that's what I sort of do on the daytime, and something artists don't really talk about is you have to work at two things. You have to work as you as a person, because we live in a capitalistic society, so you need a job to live. Work on your margin. Then you have to work on the artistic side.
Right.
So that's what we do. And also with our group Bare Canvas Sounds, with the group I can work on my dualistic skills, like with the graphic design, videos, and we do a lot of art events in New York City as well.
Okay, that's interesting. That's
so
very
cool.
So, do you write your own lyrics?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So the way I write my music is very interesting. Like after work on my confidence, so at first when I first started writing music on my campus, I wrote everything in the shower. So
Wow.
and it's not like, and I freestyle, so I basically hummed everything.
Okay.
You should hear this man in the studio sometimes. Like, he'll be in the studio, he'll play a track, and he'll just and it's like, what are you doing? But he's actually like working on something in his head and getting it down.
Like You and I Love, that's how I was like, Then when I'm on the train ride to school, I like, okay, this got to make sense. People are not gonna accept humming on a track. So I was like, okay, So I record my hums after the shower. I record the hums on the phone.
Okay.
On the train, I'll listen to it, and then okay, once I like the melody, I'll write words to it. After I write the words to it, I'll go up to one of the guys that I know that produce. I'm like, hey, if it's a love song, I'll go to the person that I feel like that has that love vibe in their music and their production. Then so I go to the right producer for the track, and then it takes us months to actually get a skeleton down, because I'm not technically trained musically.
Right.
So if I'm working with George, who has a really great knowledge of music, I'll just like, yo, it gotta be soft, it gotta sound sexy. He's like, you want horns, a trumpet? Sexy. Sexy. So we'll just sit down and play sounds, go back and forth until
we find sexy.
Yeah, until we find sexy.
Wow.
Okay.
That's an interesting process.
So if I had to, well, I can't compare you. I don't want to say, I don't even like to really use the word comparison, but basically from there, Who would you like to collab with? Who would be your biggest collaboration?
Collaboration.
In the future.
Producer or artist?
Artist.
Producer, artist. So I like Akon, T-Pain, hopefully Wyclef, because these guys are stylistically similar to me, where they're like singers or they're rappers. They're in the middle, where it's like they make hip hop, they make love slow songs, but you can't really put them in a box.
Right.
And mentally, I'm just not in a box. So, you know, some songs like, yo, he's putting some lyrics on there. Some songs like, oh, he's singing.
Yeah.
So I want that flexibility.
Okay. And now, what kind of flexibility do you feel like I can hear through your beats?
I always try to do 2 different genres at minimum in any beat that I do. That's a staple that I have at least. I'll always try to blend 2 different genres. There's always breaks in my music where it'll just switch to complete pattern. You know, it'll be club and EDM, and then it'll just switch over to sexy, as you know, you like to call it, and stuff like that. But you know, my main influence, like I said, they come from dancehall and club. So no matter what I do, I like to bring you back there. I like to bring you back to tropical. I like to bring you back to summertime. I like to bring you back to stuff like that. For me, if I could collaborate with anybody, there's one DJ that I love, and he's a producer named Double Dutch. He's part of Mix Pack. I don't know if most people probably haven't heard of him, but he's a pretty big DJ, international. And you know, he always brings the tropical with any sound that he produces, and I love that about his production. And if I could ever get to work with him, it'd definitely be a plus for me.
He did the Popcorn Everything's Nice.
Everything Nice. He did that beat from the new Popcorn album. And he works with a lot of the reggae artists down there, but that's just not his main scene. I feel like I'm the same way. I do work in dancehall. I do work with trap artists and dancehall artists, but that's not my main scene. And yeah, I just want to get other people exposed to it.
Okay, dope. So now, what is something that you guys do feel like will never change about you? When I'll be able to listen to your music maybe 10 years from now, and I'll be able to be like, okay, that's Viva. You know what I mean? And where?
You want to start, or do I go? Tag team?
I don't know. I always feel like... I always feel like if there's something still in my music 10 years from now that's still the same, I'm probably doing not the right thing almost. I have that notion about it. Like, I will have to change it. It will have to be different. And my favorite thing today, like if you listen to any of my music that I've done in the past 2 years, you're going to hear club music in it. At some point, for 8 bars maybe, you might get some club, Jersey Club drumline or something like that. But in 5 years, I would hope that's not still my only preference to, you know, to add into all my beats, and I hope it'll be different then.
Me, vocally, I like to switch it up depending on the production. You know, you want to complement the production. But reference-wise, I'll always have like a Caribbean reference or maybe a New York City reference here and there. It's like, oh, okay, I know where you from. Okay.
Okay, I get it.
Okay. So now, what would be your ideal place to perform if you can anywhere? Would it be the Barclays? I mean, you are from Brooklyn.
I would like to perform at the Barclays. I always wanted to perform with an orchestra. That I have not done that yet. Wow. I'm going to do that. Another place.
Fusion artist for real, right?
Yeah. with an orchestra. Also, I would like to perform like on Broadway, like a musical in a sense, but I would have to write the musical and have my songs in a story, which is something I'm working on now, but it's gonna take a couple of years to put it all together. Right. But I'm really big into production of theater. So, like, I took a couple of classes, acting here in a play here. So, I want to at least know the terminology to like I'm not saying I'm the best actor or the best playwright, but it's similar to R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet without the comedy.
Right, okay.
Like, just the straight dramas. Like, something like, imagine if Game of Thrones was sung to you.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. That's a crazy reference.
That is amazing. No, because I was a drama major in high school, and I love Game of Thrones. So now that you're putting all that together, I'm like, oh my God.
You're going to have to break that down to me, because I just started watching it, and then everyone's like, you're in my town, I'm in the north sector. I was like, yo, this sounds like a Crip versus Bloods, but everybody's
like
dressed
that.
up.
It's kind of like that. It's like a bunch of like gangs. It's kind of like gangs, and then they're
yo,
just
my
all
lord,
together.
you do not have the G pass.
Right,
Like,
you don't. Yeah.
what's going on out here? People smiting each other.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love it though.
So now tell me what pushed you and really made you decide like this is what you were going to do. Like music is, this is my path and this is for me.
I really think people laughing at me is one of the things that really motivate me, because when I first met everyone from my campus and whatnot, I was like, I didn't meet these guys. I met these guys as a junior, so I already have my own life and whatnot, my own circle of friends and whatnot. So I was like, hey, yeah, I'm interested in sports radio and whatnot. I remember the first time I gave him my business card, he's like, hey, guys, can we burn this?
Oh my God.
And I was like, hey, what? Like, I worked hard in this.
You've grown so much since then.
But I had to learn where I can't force myself. Just because I like my idea and I see my vision, I can't force it on you. Like, hey, this is my music, this is my art, this is my radio.
Right.
Like, I have to introduce it to you. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And I have to mature and respect that.
Right.
So, wait, I actually forgot the question. Like, mental fart. it happens to the best of me. But,
dang, you, we just got lost.
I actually just remembered. What influenced me to get into music.
Yes.
Right, that's what it was.
And I'm a person, like, one thing I've learned, especially from my high school, is commitment to excellence. Whatever you do, it has to be to the best of your standards, because you represent yourself, your family, and you also represent, if you're an institution, the people that come after you pick up where you left off.
Right.
Exactly.
So anything that I do, whether like I used to play basketball, or I used to do sports radio. Now I'm an artist. I'm gonna put my best into it, preparation and execution wise. So if I tell you like, hey, and if I'm good at one thing, I'm like, hey, I'm not really interested in this, I'm gonna do something else, I've been thinking this out. I had people that laughed, my own friends, like, hey, me and my friends are honest with each other. That's what I love.
That's a good
like,
thing.
nah, this is terrible. Like, you shouldn't do this. And I remember that. I was like, hey, a year or two from now, like one of my closest friends, my mentor, he helped me graduate college, and he was like, yo, I don't really see you doing this music thing. And then like last week, he's like, yo, you're a really good artist. Like, you make really good music. It's just like, if I believe in myself and have a vision and have a plan, and I've never given you bad quality in any work, it's like, hey, like, I learned this on my own. I Googled everything, like how to do a radio show, how to do this, how to make websites. It's like, everything is free now.
Basically.
So if I have Google and I could practice and hone a skill, there is nothing I really cannot do.
Right.
I always feel like at the end of the day, what really makes it for our whole group of friends is the fact that we are, like Bernie touched on it, we are brutally honest with each other about what's going on. And even if we might say it as a joke, but we all know, like, okay, this is honestly how we feel. It's funny, yes, but take it, take the criticism and, and shape yourself off of it. And for all of us, it has helped us hone our craft a little bit better, because each person will tell you, this is bad, or change that, or maybe the people won't accept it because, and they'll tell us, and we know what to change and what to do. Other people don't really have that network of people to to push them in the right direction, I guess.
All right. So now tell us what's up and coming, what I should be looking out for, where we can find you. I like to do this thing here called The Fit. So it's the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. Obviously, since you're music artists, I'm sure you guys have SoundCloud, YouTube, maybe any of those other things. So tell people where they can find you.
All right. First, I'm on every social media at VIVA La Burns, but I just interact differently on social media. So on Facebook, VIVA La Burns, but I post more about black empowerment and also reclaiming black history, because I after I graduated a couple years ago, I've been re-educating myself on things where, stuff that you are mandatory to learn may be unnecessary to life. Like me knowing these states and state capitals that I was forced to learn is like, okay, but if they showed me how to do taxes in high school, that'll really help me out now.
Okay.
Exactly.
So that's Facebook. Twitter, I'm just philosophic. Oh, I can't even pronounce anything. I'm a philosophically ratchet. So I'm unfiltered, It's very intelligent, but I'm very raw on Twitter. Tumblr is, I post my music, I post beautiful black women, so you know there's a submit thing of whatnot. And Instagram, if you think I'm cute, just Instagram. That's just straight up. Like, YouTube, SoundCloud, VIVA La Burns. Yeah.
So spell that for everybody, just in case they don't, they can't catch it.
VIVALABURNS, and I'm VIVA La Burns.
Oh, you're giving me like that, almost like that, that Bruno Mars feel. Like that. I can't sing, so I'm not even gonna try. But so hit us with the fit.
For me, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find me. SilkyBlack is my Twitter, Instagram. SilkyBlack90 actually. Sorry. You can follow my group DJ page, George Squid, G2DJ everywhere, at G2DJ, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud as well too. That's where you find all my music is at G2DJ. And then on top of that, I guess we could talk about Bare Canvas Sounds. That's where you can find both of us. That's our little group page, our collective page. We have a whole collective of other artists and DJs that we work with. Flash, Akil, DJ Kills, Flash O Boy, Wagwan Twan, Control Freak, and you can find us all at Bare Canvas on Twitter and at Bare Canvas Sounds on Instagram, also on Tumblr at Bare Canvas Sounds, and shoot us an email if you guys have any music and stuff like that that you'd like to post to us. We can have it posted to our SoundCloud or just reach out to other people so they can hear underground music, because that's what we like to do. We like to bring music culture to the art community in any way, shape possible. Events coming up.
Erotic Poetry Night. So this one, this one is gonna be no photos or videos allowed.
What happens at EPN stays at EPN.
Oh, where's this at?
Right
now, the Village Lantern Memorial Day weekend. We're gonna, when it's finalized, we'll post the information on our page.
Okay.
But that's where it's gonna be at. So this is one of our favorite events. We haven't done this in years. Yeah. So there's no photos or videos allowed, and if you take, you can't upload it. So and there's a you could change into your lingerie, your shorts, and pajamas,
and it'll be a very comfortable atmosphere.
And we preach intimacy.
Yes.